Castro, and you're tuning in to Leaders with a Mission. And today I have someone special. Hello, I always do. So let me tell you a little bit about her. Her name is Luly B, and she is a believer that everyone was born with a responsibility to share their gifts, talents, and abilities with the world. She empowers women and business owners to share their gifts so they experience joy. She is a family-first speaker, trainer, consultant, and author of an Amazon bestseller, Balance is Bullshit. Yeah, I said that. Luly empowers women to create the lives and businesses they desire through inspirational events, personalized coaching, workshops, and mastermind groups. And with you, Luly B! Yeah. It's so nice to have you here.
This is kind of a big deal. I'm so happy to be here.
This is a big deal.
Very big deal.
And I get to bring together people who are changing lives and making people like shine their light. And thank you for doing that. So
Thank you.
Luly, tell me a little bit about you and what you do and what you bring to the world, because more people should know about this.
Thank you. I think I've been able to use my experiences, my challenges, my obstacles, and some of my darkest days in my life to shine a light on all of those experiences to be better and to help people see through their challenges and their obstacles and really focus more on their strengths and on the light that they have. I think all too often we focus on the things that we're not good at, but what if we were to start to focus on the things that we are good at? The gifts that we were born with.
I love that. And like my core, my passion, what I do is very in alignment to what you believe. Yes. In the essence of, I also believe that everyone has a responsibility, a moral responsibility to give to the world those gifts that you are given. Like, absolutely. And that when we don't do that, we're stealing from us and we're stealing from the world. Because it was given to us at a specific time so that it could serve the world in this specific time.
I believe that too.
So one of the events where I got to experience your magic at like level 1,175 is this event where we tapped into our why. And as you know, I'm like a groupie of the Simon Sinek Start With Why. Tell me a little bit about that and how was that born? Because that is a pretty cool thing you do.
Yeah, so I got certified in that workshop, the Discover Your Purpose workshop, through a colleague and friend of his, who actually is a case study in the book. And when I took the workshop back in 2018, it forever transformed the way that I did business. I recognized the power of really, I think I had lived my purpose for a while, but my purpose became my North Star. It became my compass. It became the way that I decided whether or not I was going to take on a client or take on a project. So as soon as I finished taking the course, I was like, how do I get certified to share this with the world? And so I'm certified in teaching that workshop, which you took, which I know that you absolutely loved.
Yeah. I was like, I've always been with why. It's part of how we process or how we create. It's part of our own internal system of starting with why, not only from the storytelling part of it, but everything, right? And I was like, I don't know if I have anything else to learn about this. And I mean, it's Luly, I'll go. And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, what an amazing way to tap in even deeper. Like there's always like a deeper layer of understanding something. So thank you for allowing me to experience that. That was pretty damn cool.
Yeah. I think the really cool part of it is that we use the Gallup Strengths Finder. So again, what happens, right? When you're little, you're either better at math or in language arts, right? And so what ends up happening is if you have a bad grade in one of them, your parents give you a tutor for the thing that you're not great at. What we should be doing is looking at the strength and enhancing the strength instead of trying so hard to continue to enhance the thing that we're not great at. And so I think the magic in that workshop is how do we leverage our strengths? My number one is positivity. For years, I was told I was too much and that I was Pollyanna. And I recognized, but that's who I am. And that workshop gave me permission, I think as it did for you, to be me.
For me, it was a little different. For me, it was like, I'm like, I love taking all these tests that allow you to like tap into a little bit more of you. And I took them and I was like, oh, nice. What do I do with this? It's like, good information. Yeah. And doing that, I was like, oh, I get to, like, how do you use that to position yourself differently?
Yes.
To, like, it gives you the verbal communication that you don't know how to put into words when you package you.
Yes.
And I was like, what? I get to use something and leverage it so that I can serve people better.
Yes.
Because I can communicate it now.
Yes.
I didn't know how to put it into words. And I think that for me, that is what I got from it. I was like, now I see where I'm not communicating this magic that I have. This is what I need to.
That's a really good point.
It was so beautiful because I'm more practical. I need things to be practical. I love them. And but how do I use this? How do I make this work for me? And that was what I got from it.
Sure, because what we do is we take the strengths and then we activate your core values. So what you're talking about is putting a phrase, we're activating your core values based on your strengths. And you're right, it then becomes your litmus test, right? It becomes the, who do I want on my team? What projects do I take on? What job do I take next? Where do I move? All of that gets to be the litmus test, gets to be the why and the purpose.
And it is so unique to you. Like, that's the other part that I love it. It's not like copy paste.
No.
It is it's very identity driven. Yeah. Which most people are driven more by, like, what is in the outside rather than what is in the inside. So that's what I got. So talking about that.
Yes.
What is your personal definition of leadership?
So my personal definition of leadership is probably a little bit different than what most people think is a leader, because I think good leaders are good followers. And I think, again, as children, we're taught to be good leaders. But what does that really mean, right? Like, I loved being the line leader, but all that meant was I wanted to be seen and I wanted to be first. That didn't make me the great leader. What made me the great leader was when I wasn't the first in line and I got to watch the line leader, what they did well, how they may have encouraged us to stay in our line, either through their words, their actions, or just their way of being. So I really find that the best leaders and leadership can come in all forms and sizes, and there isn't one way. I think what has taught me that, and who has taught me that, is my children. Being a mom and just seeing my sons grow up to being the young men that they are today, and recognizing they have very unique forms of leadership, and there is not one way.
So it's evolved. It's an ever evolving.
It's ever evolving. It's multifaceted. There isn't a right way, and you don't have to be in front. You don't have to be on stage with lights, as much as you and I love that, right? There's different forms. It just so happens that mine tends to be more on a stage behind a camera, in front of a camera.
Your star activator. Yeah. Okay, so what things do you do to keep yourself, like, fresh, energy rich within this work? Because as a leader with a mission to empower others, we tend to give and give and give. How do we replenish that?
So I do a lot of meditation and prayer. I have a lot of faith. So for me, that's really, really important. I find that is my constant source for everything. And then second, I would say, is the continuing development and the courses and the books and the podcasts. And lastly, I would say therapy and hypnotherapy, and just tapping into my community of support to constantly refill my cup. I think that's really important as well. I'm not afraid of asking for help.
Beautiful. What has been the most challenging thing in this journey that you've taken of entrepreneurship and leadership?
I would say being a leader and going through a very painful, excruciating divorce, and having to allow people to see me at during times that I didn't feel like I was my best. And being so vulnerable was a very difficult time in my leadership journey. I can look back at it now and have a deep appreciation for it. But it was definitely the hardest time for me, because when you are so public and you have so many people that look up to you, somehow they idolize you and they almost forget that you're human. And so I'm grateful because I got to express my humanity. And I got to show people a different side of me. And now I'm better on the other side, and they got to witness that too.
That's beautiful, Luly.
Thank you.
Like I get to be seen as a human.
Yeah.
It brought you back to center. It shook
did.
you to the core, but it like brought you back home.
Oh, I have a deep appreciation for everything I've been through. I really, really do. I'm very grateful for it, because it has made me become a better person, a better mother, a better coach, a better speaker. I'm more empathetic. I'm more compassionate. I thought that I was empathetic and compassionate before, and now I'm like, wow, I'm really empathetic and compassionate. Yeah.
Like I mentioned, like sometimes we feel like, oh, but I own that, and the universe is like, you can own a little bit deeper.
Little bit more. Yeah.
Just lean in, and then you're like, ah!
Yeah. I was like, really? Yeah.
You have too much faith, universe.
Yes,
just telling
exactly.
you. Oh my God, that's beautiful, Luly. So tell me, what would you tell someone who's going through a hard time like you went to, if you could tap into that for a second?
Yeah. So I remember being in such a dark place, and I know that there are so many people right now that might feel or are in a dark place. And one of my colleagues and good friends said to me, there is light at the end. And I remember I was sobbing, and I said to her, there's no way, I do not see it, and I'm exhausted. And I was at a point in my life where I literally did not even want to get out of bed. And when I did, it was forced. And again, we're going back to the why. So much of my why was able to help me get out of bed. And so this very wise woman said to me, just keep walking. Just keep walking. And every day I just did a little bit, and every day I did a little bit more. And before I knew it, I did see the light. But there are days and months where you don't think that you're moving and you're heading in the right direction, and you're not seeing that light because you're in so much darkness. But you get to remember that every step taken is always a step closer to the light.
And it's beautiful because part of what you do, and one of your event names is a spark.
Yes.
So it's like, it's dark and then it goes, poof, and it shines light through it. So how can people find you? Where can we get more of Luly B? Tell us more.
So my favorite place is on Instagram. Unfortunately or fortunately, I was hacked in May. So I'm still rebuilding all of my social media. I'm not on Facebook because Facebook still doesn't like me. So I'm in Facebook jail. Apparently I broke one of the rules. And so Instagram, that Luly B, and on my website, lulyb.com. I love messaging with people. I love connecting. And my favorite thing to do is to help women build a business around their lifestyle and around their family priorities. So I love working with women business owners. I love empowering them, connecting them, and seeing women business owners win is like $1 million for me.
I love it. And I know that that's true. So if you are in a journey and you need some support and like a little bit light shine your way, please check her out. And for those of you who are leaders, who are looking to expand your visibility and your signal so that you can gain more traction and more leadership in what you do, come by and visit us at forproductions.com, set up a conversation, and let's get started. So see you in the next one.